We can have like a little 2-second intro thing, be like, ba-da-ba-ba-da. Welcome back.
Hello everybody and welcome to Anime Central's Watch or Drop. I'm Paul.
I'm Thomas.
I'm Zach.
And today we're going to be talking about Owari no Seraph, also known in English as Seraph of the End, the new anime that has started airing in spring of 2015.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, you'll probably know it's 2015, but who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
So, what's the show about, guys?
Well, to be general, it's sort of about this a boy and his family being captured and taken in by these vampires who have told them that the world has ended.
Yep, and they're not far from wrong.
They're not exactly far from wrong, but they're not exactly
It's kind of an
right
apocalyptic world.
Yeah.
Yeah, a dystopia.
So these vampires have made an agreement with most people that they give sort of this protection
For their blood.
for their blood. Now, this is not always, and in fact, the family is sort of forced into it. They don't really have a choice. They were sort of taken, and now they're forced to give blood to these vampires, who obviously that's their sustained life force. Drink whenever they want, and this is sort of like a ritual thing. It's about this family trying to escape this terrible place and get out to what they think is the real world that has ended. And that's about it, really. They're just trying to figure it out. It goes obviously a lot deeper than that, but as a generalization, I think that's the best way to say it without leaving any spoilers or anything like that.
So, the way this is going to work is we're going to talk about our pros and cons for this show and any shows to come in the future. And at the end of it, we are going to say whether we want to continue watching it or just drop it outright. The twist is, though, if two of us, or if it's a two-person thing, one of us, want to continue it, and one person wants to say, like, nah, fuck it, don't want this anymore, then, well, fuck them. They gotta watch it too. They have to continue in the conversation with us as long as we think it's worthy of, being conversed about.
Yeah. So every episode we're gonna have the verdict, and then the next episode will also have a verdict. It's not just like a one-time thing.
Yeah.
Which is what we're gonna be doing. And until the series ends, or multiple people say they want to end it, we'll keep going.
Finish off the anime.
Yeah.
We're also watching the first 4 episodes of this anime. So that's what this will be based off of.
Yeah, we haven't seen any others. I've read a little bit of the manga, but that was when it first came out, so it's a while ago. So I don't have too much extra information, and I'll try to keep that out of this as long as I do have that available. And I'll tell you when my knowledge stops, because it does stop soon. But anyways, let's hop right into it. How about that?
All right.
Start with the pros.
Of course.
You want to go first, my friend Paul?
Sure. Well, my first thing is that the character animations, the fight animations, and just the weapons in general in this show are just awesome. I really love the look of the weapons. I really do. Like, the demon smoke coming out of them when, like, they're drawn and whatnot, that's just so neat. So cool.
Yeah, I think I agree to an extent, but the only disagreement I have with that, the only quarrel, is that they really do use the green highlight. And I do like the green highlights, but they use it a bit too much for the weapons. Like, the scythe has it, the katana has it.
Everything has it.
Everything has it.
The bow has it.
The bow has it.
Oh, even their uniforms.
Yeah. Well,
but we'll
I
talk
understand
about
it's the color.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna say that it's such a terrible thing that's gonna make me not want to watch the anime, but I think that they could have just used a bit more variety in the color palettes, if you know what I mean.
Change it up a little bit.
Yeah, but yeah, I agree that the weapons are cool. I love katanas. I took martial arts using katanas, and like the scythe is awesome.
Yeah.
The bow was a bit weird, but it's cool.
Whatever.
It's a bow. Bows don't need to look cool.
Have we really seen the bow outside of the intro sequence?
You guys haven't.
Well, yeah, you've read the manga,
Yeah.
but because I'm pretty sure the only weapons that we've seen, like demon weapons, is Captain Gurren, I think is whatever he
The
is.
katana.
He's got the katana.
Yep.
The purple-haired chick has the
Scythe.
Also, apologies. I don't think any of us know like any of the characters' names
We know a
aside from
few.
Gurren and you,
Yeah. You and Gurren.
and that's it.
And you. Yeah.
And purple hair girl.
Purple hair.
And the
I think I have it written
Bitchy
down as
brown
purple
hair
hair. No, I say scythe girl.
scythe girl. Okay.
Okay.
What about you guys?
I really like the side characters in this. Not,
Okay.
and I'm gonna say specifically side characters because we'll talk about it later, but I don't exactly like the protagonist too much. But side characters like the purple hair chick, like we just talked about, she's really cool. She's scheming all the time.
Yeah.
She always has something behind her like that she's hiding. Not saying that her intentions are terrible, but she's mischievous.
Yeah.
And Gurren, the officer and their teacher, his story, and like we'll get into it later, is very interesting. Like he has lots of stuff up his sleeve, and he just is a total asshole.
And does whatever the fuck he wants.
Oh, yeah.
It's great. He fucking kicks these guys all over that place. It's great. That's my, like, what do you guys think about the side characters? Because, like, I'm not going to say they're all great.
I actually have written down that I think that a lot, like, I don't necessarily think that a lot of the characters are, like, super interesting, but I think that they're the each character's in the proper place for them to have a lot of potential to grow in one way or another.
And we're only early in...
Yeah, 4 episodes in, you don't know what's going to happen.
There's still room for growth.
Yeah, and I agree. And that's why I think this is a really cool thing, because usually you get a lot of stories in anime, especially, that the side characters just sort of fall off. You're really in for it for the main character.
Yeah, the protagonist, and then probably like whoever else, the main side character.
Exactly. And that's why I think this really does stand out in that sort of way. So that's one of my pros. What about you, Zach? What's your pros?
I think their eyes look really detailed.
That's very specific. That's really cool, though.
Yeah.
Their eyes.
Think of that, but yeah, there's a lot of emotion conveyed through the facial animation.
I love it. It's great.
He just wants to fucking look at it all day, just pictures of the eyes. You know, there's like that YouTuber that just makes millions of, like, not millions, but makes a career out of staring at a camera. Just this cute girl who just stares. It's really weird.
Is it really?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Have to look into that later. Anyways, I think another pro I would have is the style of clothing that the vampires wear, and also the uniforms that the army wears.
I have this written down as well.
Oh, yeah.
The attire in general, I think, is really cool.
Yeah, it's really, really well done.
Even their uniforms, like they look like your standard like Japanese style uniforms and like sailor
Skirts
uniforms and whatnot, but just I love the gray on green. I really do for the uniforms. I don't like. I know you guys were saying like you don't like the green too much. I don't really care one way or the other, but I think that on the uniforms, especially the purple-haired chick, green and purple are an awesome contrast, and it just fits really well with that character specifically.
Can you tell he's been to like film school?
It happens.
But no, yeah, and overall, we've seen many in these first few episodes. We've seen many different types of uniforms and like attire in general, and they're all really interesting. It's not just t-shirt, pants. It's like there's extra shit. This guy, we've been playing Bloodborne a lot. This is a bit of a side note, but it's not really. In Bloodborne you get like the fucking
Bloodborne, by the way.
But you get like the pants or the shirt with like the straps that you're not hanging onto.
Oh yeah.
The very first, and he eats that shit up.
Oh, I do.
And
Fashion.
Yeah, but like just in general though, like there's a lot of that in this. Like they got extra shit going all over their shoulders, stuff like that. And I'm not gonna say it's terrible because it's not. And maybe other people will disagree with this because I do know some people who think that like this extra stuff is kind of weird and like why do they have all this stuff, but it's fashion. I mean,
hey man, I like Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts, and that's belt and chain city. Like,
and clown shoes.
And clown shoes. Yeah.
Clown shoes.
Right.
But anyways, what about I'm gonna go next because we were going in a bit of an order here.
We're not going in any order, whatever.
I want to talk a bit about just the total progression and the storytelling. Because in this 4 episodes, we've been able to see like different perspectives. Yeah. You've met a new character, like not a new character, but they've reintroduced a character, and you get to learn what his experience of these past few days, or however long it's been, through his perspective, and like you get to feel like you're getting so much information, but it's not overwhelming. You know exactly what's happening. You know who is who. Not that we know the names because we never do, but you feel for these characters in such a short little amount of time.
Yeah, you really do grow to enjoy like the company of those characters through the lens of you, at least.
Yeah.
Because like he definitely really enjoys being like a loner kid and having a group that just grew around you and became your family, and then just immediately having it taken away. It's like, oh, you fucks.
Great tragedy story at the beginning.
I love it.
Okay, well then I guess we're gonna have to sort of talk a little bit about the bad things. this.
Oh yeah, talk about the cons, and I'd like to touch on that as well. I didn't like the first episode. So
We were just saying that it was good. Me and Paul really like tragedy, though. Let's put
Yeah.
that out there.
That's a thing. I like being sad.
Me and you, brother.
I wasn't really sad throughout the first episode.
No? Okay. Well, what do you think is so bad about it?
I don't know. It just wasn't appealing to me. Everything was kind of rushed, and
I think it could have been a bit rushed.
See, that's weird. I have a con written down on mine that I feel as if the pacing sometimes is too slow.
oh really?
But one of the pros that I didn't get to mention earlier was that I think that the show is also just the right amount of goofy.
Okay.
Like
I've written that too.
it does
yeah.
have.
It's
It's lighthearted. It's
Yeah,
lighthearted.
it is lighthearted.
Like we were saying earlier, the fucking Captain Gurren guy just fucking roundhouse kicks two people into a wall for no reason at one point.
Yeah,
like
that's
that's
pretty
just
great.
a thing that happens. And I feel as if the con, which is that I feel it kind of drags sometimes, is kind of balanced out by the goofiness, because like those slower scenes, like even when they're like in a classroom and they're just talking back and forth, it's like, okay, sure, this shit's going on, but then like the fucking teacher starts yelling at the character and you're like, okay, this is actually kind of funny. I can handle it being
Yeah.
slow.
Yeah, okay, so it's not very much of a con, but it is.
Yeah,
You think that they
it's a
should
thing.
fix it,
Yeah,
and it's notable, but it's not terrible.
yeah.
Okay, that's understandable. What about you? Okay, I'll go next. Way too similar to many other shows.
Oh, agreed.
Agreed. I can name like 3 or 4, like if I really thought about it, but Blue Exorcist, Guilty Crown, we were talking about Kekken Sensen a little bit.
Yeah.
And
Attack on Titan.
Attack on Titan.
Yeah, the story's just been rehashed so many times now.
Yeah. And like
Titans are vampires.
yeah.
It's just it's just subtle differences compared, right? So.
The major plot points are very similar.
So coming into this, you're gonna have to like the characters.
Yeah. I think so too. Or just accept
Unless-
that you're gonna see a story that you've seen before.
Exactly.
Right?
Or if you're just really into vampires.
Hey, I like vampires. Vampires.
I'm actually watching a different vampire show.
What show?
It's a live action.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well,
Doesn't apply here.
well, that's pretty cool. Yeah, but yeah, it's okay. But I think like the main character is just a bit arrogant, like many other main characters in stories, and like he's eventually gonna learn that he needs to cooperate and stuff like that. We've seen it.
Yeah.
We get it. He's a fucking fucktard that's gonna learn.
He's pretty ignorant at the beginning.
But
It's like how I said, all of the characters that we're introduced to have an amazing potential to grow. They are supposed to be idiots at this point because they have to learn later on that they can't be that way in this world.
they don't need to be, and that's been done before. Is what
I
I'm
know.
trying to say.
I know. It's definitely a trope at this
Yeah,
point.
and that's one thing. That's just minor. I'm still gonna watch it. It's great. But what about you? What about you, Zach?
I already said my con. It's
You already
Paul's turn.
You only have one con?
I have some, but
Okay,
we've talked about
them.
Yeah.
all of them
Okay,
already.
what about you?
Well, my biggest con, as you guys already know, is the fact that there is a spoiler in the fucking opening credit sequence.
Alright.
Why? I don't
Yeah.
understand. Okay, so obviously spoilers, but if you're watching a review on the first 4 episodes, you probably were expecting that anyways. There's a character who dies in the first episode and then is reintroduced at the end of the 3rd episode as like older time skip version of them. And it's like, okay, cool, but why is he in the intro sequence?
As his older version.
Yeah, like it shows the kid and then
Yeah.
out of his fucking shadow comes the older version and it's like, come on,
It's
man.
really
Like,
dumb.
I thought that guy was dead. I thought that was supposed to be a huge emotional part of the story. Like, this guy's fucking traumatized because his brother died, and now, oh no, he's coming back.
Yeah.
Big fucking surprise. If there was no intro, like Zach, you don't watch.
I don't watch the intros, so this didn't really apply to me.
Yeah. So like for you, when he gets reintroduced at the end of the 3rd episode, it's a surprise.
It was actually a surprise, and that kind of made me like the anime a little bit more. So
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't watch the intro.
So like, I still like that twist is in there, but I just feel as if it would have been more impactful if that character had not been in the intro sequence, at least for like the fucking first 3 episodes.
They could have just not had an introduction for the first 3 episodes.
Yeah.
I've seen many animes where the first when they really need to tell the story or like a lot of plot points, they won't have an intro sequence for many episodes. They could have just done that. And then we wouldn't have known that this has happened. Then you start putting it in because we've met all the characters. We know that he's a character, and we don't need to worry about spoiling it. If you're watching this, you know by now that this is a big spoiler. But if you haven't watched the intro sequence and you've seen up to episode 4, you've probably gotten a much better experience for this twist.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with
Zach.
that a lot.
So don't watch the intro.
But you already know it by now.
Yeah, well,
If you
we've
watch
already
that
told
spoiler.
them.
GG. Last con. I'm gonna
Alright.
point it out when we've already talked about this a little bit. But why does the queen of the vampires need to be a little girl? Why?
Well, see, like, you seem to have, like, a personal vendetta against that, like,
I don't.
vampire trope.
I just have a vendetta against bad tropes, and
Yeah.
and that's why I don't like this very used wishy-washy story. And I don't like when boobs are used for plot points, and I don't like when little girls have to be vampire queens.
That being said, boobs haven't been used as a plot point.
Hey,
No,
which is pretty great.
It's just
So,
a trope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so this is a major trope, a major con for me, just because like I've seen Vampire Bunt, like stuff like that, and like Moon Phase or whatever else. It's all fucking the same. Why can't I have a fucking adult female lead like vampire queen? Why can't it never happen? I've never seen an anime with it. It's always a child. It's,
Well, a child or a teenager.
Yeah.
Or whatever, yeah.
Because like what? They always do the same thing. Their aging process is different. They're gonna age differently. That's why they're so long as a child. But it just so happens to be that they're in this time period that they're a child. Stupid. Stupid.
Yeah, I personally don't have an issue with it, but hey, it's a thing to take into consideration. If that's a thing that you guys don't like, then there you go.
Hey, if you're like me, I mean, I'm still watching it, like I said. And talking about that, let's sort of wrap this up.
Yeah.
Do you sort of want to continue this?
I am
Paul?
100% down.
Yeah?
To continue watching this show, yeah. Or Owari no Seraph.
Awari no Seraph. What about you, Zach?
Yeah, I like it enough to continue it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to say continue as well because I've read a bit farther in the manga and I don't want to give a no until I've gotten a bit past that because I know what's going to happen. But this is going to be new to me once we get past that point, and that's when I'm really going to start judging this anime.
Alright guys, if you like this video, you can subscribe to us on youtube.com/animealliance. And you can also check us out at youtube.com/thegamegabs on our other channel for Game Central. If you like this video, like the video, and also leave us a comment down below telling us whether or not you guys want to continue watching this show or not.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I think that's a great idea, and definitely look forward to many other series, because we're going to be talking about many different animes. We're going to be talking about some movies that we've watched recently and not so recently. So definitely keep in touch. Talk to you guys next time.